about scientific breakthroughs all the time, but have you ever wondered what it really takes to get a discovery from a lab into a life-saving cure? Well, today we're going to look at just that and a really unique organization that's building the bridges to make it all happen. I mean, just listen to that. That's how Megan Golden described the pain her brother Eric had to live with. He had pancreatitis, a chronic disease with no cure and no treatment. A condition so agonizing, the standard of care is often just opioids to try and manage that unimaginable pain. So, Eric and Megan's story, it really shines a light on this huge fundamental problem, right? The search for a cure is never just about the science. You can have the most brilliant idea in the world, but if you don't have the resources, the funding, or even just the right kind of space for that science to grow, it's stuck. Yeah, this gap between a great idea and actually developing it, well, it has a name, and it's a pretty grim one, the Valley of Death. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's the place where countless potential breakthroughs just go to die. For so many scientists and entrepreneurs, this isn't just some business school concept. It's this incredibly frustrating, very real wall they hit. I mean, think about it. You've got this groundbreaking idea, a potential therapy that could change lives, but you just can't cross that chasm to get it to the people who desperately need it. And this data, wow, it paints a really stark picture of one of the biggest roadblocks, the infrastructure problem. Look at this. In a major hub like New York City, a place you'd think is packed with labs, only 10% of life science jobs are actually at the lab bench. The other 90%? Office-based. That tells you there's a critical shortage of physical space for R&D. So that's the big question, isn't it? If the science is there, and the brilliant minds are there, but the labs, the physical spaces, aren't, what happens to the next generation of therapies? These incredible ideas are basically homeless, and that's when innovation just grinds to a halt. Okay, so here's the good news. An organization called Builds Bio Plus was founded to tackle exactly that question. Their whole reason for being is to build the missing bridges over that very valley of death. Its mission is to be an ecosystem builder. Think of it like a gardener for innovation. It's not just about planting one seed, it's creating the entire environment. The right soil, the sunlight, the water, the physical and financial setting where scientific ideas can actually take root and, really thrive. And they do this by focusing on these really tangible, practical goals. It's all about fostering collaboration, creating connections between two worlds that honestly don't speak the same language a lot of the time, science and real estate. They identify opportunities, promote areas for development, and maybe most importantly, they educate both sides on the needs and the massive benefits of working together. Okay, so that's the what. But let's talk about the how. How does this actually work in practice? I mean, how do you connect these two completely different worlds? One that's talking in molecules and clinical trials, and another that's talking in square footage and lease agreements. And this slide, this just lays it out perfectly. It really gets to the core of the whole model. On one side, you have the scientific community. They've got the world-changing ideas, but they need lab space, they need access to capital. On the other side, you've got the real estate and finance industries. They have the ability to build, they have the investment opportunities. So Builds BioPlus steps into the middle. They act as that essential translator and really the matchmaker between them. And the results? They're not just theoretical, they are tangible, they're massive. Just look at this number. In New York City alone, this whole ecosystem approach has helped spark the development of 3.5 million square feet of dedicated life science space. That's not just empty real estate, that's 3.5 million square feet of potential cures. But here's the thing, this vision doesn't just stop at the city limits. The challenges in life sciences are global, the opportunities are global, so the solution has to be global too. And you can see that global vision in action right here. Starting in New York back in 2018, Builds BioPlus has expanded, creating chapters in other huge life science hubs like Philadelphia and just recently London. What they're doing is building a true network of innovation, sharing what works and learning from each other across these major cities. And this isn't just about opening new offices, it's about something much bigger. This is about building scientific bridges right across the Atlantic. It's about fostering a global community, one that's totally dedicated to accelerating health innovation. It's about making the world's brightest minds feel like they're neighbors, not competitors. This whole massive effort, from turning an office building in Manhattan into a lab, to forging these international partnerships in London, it all circles right back to where we started. It comes back to people like Eric and Megan, and that urgent, deeply human need for new therapies and new cures. So, by creating this foundation for science, both a physical home and a collaborative one, we're doing so much more than just building properties. We're building the potential for the next generation of cures. And it makes you wonder, right? The question isn't really if we can find them anymore. The real question is, how much faster can we get there now that innovation finally has a home? We're about scientific breakthroughs all the time, but have you ever wondered what it really takes to get a discovery from a lab into